What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about the predictions for today's Nintendo Direct. So, kind of different. I normally don't do predictions for events the day of the event, but considering they announced it yesterday, we didn't have much time. I couldn't move the right videos around, so here we are, just a mere few, I don't even know how many hours, but a few hours away from the event, and it's going to be a big one. It really is. So, to catch people up, obviously, if you guys didn't know, Nintendo Direct later today. I believe it's 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so just kind of give yourself, a couple references for time. And it's going to be 50 minutes long. It's going to be showing and talking about games that are releasing in the first half of 2021, including, different characters for Smash Bros. And then other stuff, really packing the Nintendo portfolio. So this is extremely exciting. And I do have, I titled this predictions. I would call them wants. I have things that I would want to see. I do have a prediction or two that I do think could actually happen. Some of them are maybe more bold than others, and so we're going to go over that, okay? If you guys do like this stuff, make sure, as always, you're subscribed. You have the bell icon turned on. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, I will probably be tweeting out the Nintendo announcements as well, so make sure you're following me over there. Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle, and let's just jump in. Now, there's kind of been conflicting things. I believe their actual tweet was like the first half of the year, but some people are talking about the full year, that they may show stuff for the entire full year of Nintendo. And when you do stuff for 50 minutes, when you have a Nintendo Direct for 50 minutes, this is a big one. I mean, this is not focused on one thing. It's not 10 minutes. It's not focusing on Animal Crossing. It's not focusing on this or that. This is a legitimate, like a Sony State of Play or an Xbox Game Showcase. Obviously, Nintendo is the one who started this anyway. This is their own thing. We haven't had one of these since, I believe, September 4th of 2019. It's been a year and a half, okay? So it's been such a long time. Now, here's the deal. I really don't know with Super Smash Bros. I know people probably have their theories of who's coming next. I'm going to kind of leave that alone. I'm terrible at that game, so I can only, I would say, speak as a fan so much because I do enjoy the game. I mean, I love playing it, but you've never probably seen a worse player than me. So I don't feel qualified to talk about it, and so I won't. One of my bold predictions, let's say, is Splatoon 3. Now, I'm going to use the help of a leak that we talked about actually on this channel. I think January 1st, it was I think in the new year, and there was a Spanish person, okay, and on Twitter, and he's like a leaker, and he posted the fact that there's going to be 4, or maybe even 5 new games coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2021, and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Remake was obviously one of them. Splatoon 3 was one of them, it was a picture of Splatoon. It would be Splatoon 3. We also had Breath of the Wild. Metroid, I think, was the 4th one. So I believe those were the 4. Now, if they're only doing the first half of the year, I do think Splatoon 3 could still fit. Splatoon 2, I believe, came out in the summer. I believe came out July, the year that it came out. I could be slightly off, but I'm pretty sure that was a summer game. So, first half of the year, that's June, is the last month of the first half. But to be honest, I don't know. I really feel like they could start to engage in the rest of the year. If you have 50 minutes, unless they have a load of surprises. Now, there was, I believe, a leak over this past weekend that they were going to announce 3, maybe 4 games that are going to be ports, just like popular games that have been out that are going to be ported to the Nintendo Switch. So that's something, obviously, they can't talk about. I mean, they can really fill this thing, but I will say one of my predictions will be Splatoon 3. If it comes out in July or August, I know that's past the first half. I wouldn't put it past them to throw that in there anyway. And then, of course, if it comes out in May or in June, well, it makes complete sense to do it. And it's been long enough. We've talked, actually, I think I made a video specifically on Splatoon. It's definitely been long enough. The time period fits. I think it's time. And I actually really like Splatoon 2 as well. So I really think, and it grew quite a following. I think, Splatoon, when it first came out, wasn't that big of a thing, but it's quickly ballooned up into a legitimate thing. Breath of the Wild 2 is the other one. Now, again, if the game comes out, say, in the fall, would they show it? Well, I think this is an opportunity not just to show the games that are releasing in the first half, but also just talk about Nintendo this year, which is, I think, the larger goal of this Nintendo Direct. So I would not be shocked whatsoever if we got Breath of the Wild 2, like something. We really don't have all that much about this game. It's been 4 years now since the first one came out. I mean, this is the year. Games get delayed, games get pushed all the time, especially over the last year and a half for obvious reasons, but I do believe that guy who talked about, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Now, would that be shown? Well, again, that is, I would say 100% for sure, the November game. November or that first week of December that Nintendo always likes to do. I think that's the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl game, okay? Breath of the Wild, like, do you do that in September? Do you do that in October? Is it a summer game? Is it, like, miraculously coming out in, like, a few months from now? It could. Any of these games could, actually, except for, I think, Pokemon. There's no way. I would say there's no way Pokemon does that. Metroid, Metroid has had a really tough life that we know of, or development cycle, let's call it, right? We knew it was happening. Then we heard that they had to completely restart from scratch like a year or two in. So now they're kind of like restarting. So I don't know, like, is that game, I would be very shocked to find out is coming out in the first half this year. I would honestly be shocked to having it come out in the second half, because you look at it, if Breath of the Wild comes out second half, you already have Pokemon. Do you put that too? And then when does Splatoon come out? So, Super Smash Bros. Is obviously going to be a big thing. It's going to be a main, focal point of the Nintendo Direct. I do think we will get at least one of those 4 games. So Metroid, Pokemon, Splatoon, Breath of the Wild 2. I think we get at least one of them in terms of like a showing, okay? Maybe more. I would honestly hope for like 2 of them. And then beyond that, ports. I think it's going to be ports of, existing games. I don't remember the leak of which game specifically, but there was you guys can maybe find it online. Maybe it's on some Nintendo website. There were 3 pretty popular games, I think, that came out over the last year or so that is rumored to be, coming to the Nintendo Switch. I love that when that happens. I think it's a cool thing. Now, most of the games that had, like when BioShock went on there, when all these games went on there, or I think Borderlands I think they announced BioShock and Borderlands kind of around the same time. I had played both those games. I've been a BioShock fan for a long time. So it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to rebuy it for the Nintendo Switch. But if you only have a Switch, which there are a lot of people that have a Switch, and then I'm going to make the assumption that there's a lot of people that only have the Switch, well, obviously these games you haven't played yet, right? So, or maybe you haven't played yet, obviously. And so it really is always a really cool thing when that happens. So I'm pumped. I'm ready. Now, I'm recording this yesterday, your guys' time. I'm pumped right now. I'm sure I'll be pumped when you guys are watching this video, only a couple hours away, and let's get into it. It's going to be really, really fun. So here's the deal, really quickly to end the video. Tomorrow, I will kind of recap it. The first video of the day tomorrow, we'll be talking about what we got. If there's many, like, big announcements, maybe I'll split up into, like, 2 videos. So make sure, this is very, very important, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, so you do know when all these videos go up. Again, expect tomorrow there to be stuff on the Nintendo Direct, okay? While you're at it, again, my Twitter, again, is podcastnow15. I'll be tweeting it, like, at the time, so that one you won't have to wait to kind of see my impressions if you guys care about what I think. But podcastnow15 is my Twitter. Let me know what your own predictions are. What do you think we see? What do you think maybe we don't see? What maybe, it's too early to see? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Hope to see you guys very, very soon.